Alpha crackers, simply irresistible.
This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome to the Ghana ICT Hub, a partnership between MTN Ghana and the Government of Ghana through the Ministry of Communications and Digitization. MTN pledged to support Ghana's digitization agenda in line with its ambition.
I want you so bad, Alpha Cracker. I want you. I wanna say yes, I can't resist. I want you. Ooh, I want you, Alpha Cracker. I want you so bad, Alpha Cracker.
Alpha goodness rich in milk and butter. In Alpha cracker, yummy and deliciously crunchy.
But I can't resist you.
Alpha crackers, simply irresistible.
This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome to the Ghana ICT Hub, a partnership between MTN Ghana and the Government of Ghana through the Ministry of Communications and Digitization. MTN pledged to support Ghana's digitization agenda in line with its ambition to lead the delivery of digital solutions for Africa's progress. In fulfillment of this pledge, MTN Ghana has committed $25 million toward the realization of the Ghana ICT Hub project. The objectives of the Ghana ICT Hub project is anchored on the following: to create an ICT-enabled environment for human capital and ICT skills development, to develop an ICT ecosystem through remote access delivery to facilitate job creation for national development, to provide a modern, state-of-the-art physical infrastructure to serve as a pillar for the digital Ghana agenda. The physical infrastructure, when completed, will provide 4,000 square meters of space with the following facilities: laboratories for technology training and research, innovation hub, co-working spaces for tech innovation startups, Tier 3 data center, conferencing facilities, offices and meeting rooms, commercial lettable spaces, gaming area, restaurant, ancillary facilities. The technology laboratories will be fitted with the next generation ICT equipment and applications to provide the youth of Ghana with practical training in Industry 4.0 technologies such as artificial intelligence, AI, machine learning, cloud computing, 3D printing, robotics, Internet of Things, IoT, advanced manufacturing techniques, cybersecurity, genetic engineering. The project also seeks to establish a complete ecosystem at the hub through remote access delivery to facilitate job creation for national development. The ecosystem shall comprise of MDAs, technology companies, startups, incubators, research agencies, leading universities globally, foundations worldwide, to create a community. 1. The ecosystem community shall bridge the divide between academia and industry and provide solutions to challenges in the key sectors of health, agriculture, and educational sectors of the economy. 2. It shall also run an innovation program providing mentoring and networking for the youth in tech startups. 3. The ecosystem community shall establish an innovation fund to support startups, research agencies, and other entities in the ecosystem. MTN Ghana and the Ministry of Communications and Digitization are championing the Ghana digital agenda for Ghana's development. Welcome to the digital age.
Everyone needs the perfect snack to munch on during a fun moment.
Wow.
Enjoy the tasty McBerry Twist cupcakes, deliciously baked and packaged for a sweet treat. Premium quality cakes baked with love for all, enriched in butter and milk.
Yummy. Oh,
McBerry Twist cupcakes, simply irresistible. Try one today. This advert is FDA approved.
sweetheart, be mindful of your health. Dear products Nadia Makeup, I welcome you to Sigma Health and Beauty. You can call us the Beauty Embassy. Who pursue beauty more revealed with quality makeup products. There is only one place. The Sigma Health and Beauty 2022 Ghana Makeup Awards Beauty Retail Business of the Year. Of course, we are the defending champions. World-class makeup brands and Kwanyet on, you name it. Maybelline, Dark and Lovely, House of Tara, and many more. Your professionalism in the beauty industry is unmatchable. Ensure the proper way of applying our products. Sigma Health and Beauty, Yewa Accra, Makwala, Georgina Stores, and Rollins Park, Gate 4. Fryer 0248 138 596 and 0201 408 186. Or visit our online shop at www.beautyavenuegh.com. Sigma, your beauty, our joy.
Now,
Obek Kanokre. Susu sang pine, Pia want to Nambia, a man in quite bebre.
Mommy, you can see about Kotoso, Pepoga, sending me sick from Lemonade Finance, while Brian did the shade and let me £2.
Lemonade Finance.
Say they're sending money back home from UK, Canada, and now US. I accepted a instant charges. Exchange rate in unbeatable. We should be promo code Dr. Like £10, $10, and $10 Canadian for the first transaction. With this send this download to Lemonade Finance.
Coups don't start in a day.
But there is an election coming and the stakes are high.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Legal Agenda. Today we'll be looking at Ghana security, specifically the Act 999, that's the Vigilantism and Related Offences Act 2019. We'll be looking at the key provisions, the objectives, and the impact it has made on Ghana's security landscape. We also discuss how the Act aims to curtail the activities of vigilante groups and also deter potential offenders and ensure swift and fair justice for those who perpetrate these offenses. My name is Matilda Boati Nati, and today on my show I have Dr. Adams Bona, who is a security expert, and lawyer Sena Hoto, who is a legal practitioner. Gentlemen, you are welcome to this show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I will start with Dr. Bona. Being a security analyst, do you think the law has served its purpose in regards to vigilantism and related offences? Has it helped?
Thank you very much for bringing us onto this show. Let me say hello to my colleague panelists and yourself and your team for probably, I must say, emphasizing a lot on this particular act and to know whether the act has served us. And let's also remember the people of Niger in our prayers. And an act like this is put together to ensure that what is happening in the sub-region doesn't happen. Coups don't start in a day. It is, you must put in pragmatic measures to either stop a future coup or to plan a future coup directly or indirectly. Right. And so what you've seen in Mali, you've seen in Burkina Faso, Niger, and the rest, didn't just start by a day. It was because of the the lack of political will and lack of leadership ability to perform a certain task that has culminated into what we are seeing in Niger. Yesterday, coincidentally, I was with the rep of the ECOWAS Commission.
Okay.
And I must also say that I serve as a board member of the Small Arms Commission. I'm a rep of the, CSOs in Ghana, against small arms. So I serve on the board of Small Arms Commission. So I would say I have some knowledge when it comes to the area of vigilantism and other related offenses. Now, to answer you directly, I would say no, it hasn't. It was just pure lip service by our leaders.
Okay.
You remember how the Vigilantism Act came about.
Yeah.
It was the president just one morning issuing a fiat. I give you 1 week. I give you 2 weeks to come up with an act, or I'm going to send something to Parliament.
Okay.
Tell me if one person has been prosecuted using that law. Not that I can remember. He's a lawyer, he should know, but nobody. Because, owning a firearm doesn't come cheap. Those who own firearms, there are 3 or so reasons why people own firearms.
Okay.
We started owning firearms, so you want to look at generational. Generationally, people use them for pure hunting,
yes,
and then for festivals,
yes,
right,
yes,
in this country.
Yes.
Then subsequently, we started using them to fight wars and for conflict and
yes,
whatever.
yes.
Then the third layer came in criminality. So now there are diverse reasons why people use firearms.
Okay.
And as we sit today, to own a pump action is a lot of money.
Yeah.
To even go through the process of registering is a lot of money. Those who actually own a lot of these firearms are people who should know better. You understand what I'm trying to say? And so, tell me, recently in the Eastern region, a certain big chief had his people parading firearms and shooting people in the Galamsey area. I must say, without mincing words, these people claim to be people who have been assigned by the Ochehene to go out and chase Galamseyers. Okay, this is in the news.
Okay.
I don't want to put your media house into the spotlight, but it is there.
Okay.
And these people, I don't know whether they were arrested. They were parading firearms and shooting at one another in the glare of the, in the public view.
Okay.
If you look at the firearms law, it says for you to display a firearm, you need permission from the IGP to do that. And so if I had a firearm and I put it on this table and it comes into the public domain, the law says I should be arrested.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, we have not been able to do what is expected of us. Today, go to most Zongos, go to Nima, go to Mamobi, go to Ashama, go to Kaswa, go to most Zongos in this country, go to most communities, Aswanse, go to most communities in this country when there are weddings, when there are adorings, when there are festivals. People are shooting firearms. Homawa is just around the corner.
Yes.
People literally just firing pump action guns.
And nothing is done to them.
And we are watching.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the police is doing what it has to do.
Okay.
But the perpetrators, once they are arrested, I am a chief, I am this, I am that, I am that, they are my boys, they are my this, they are my that. So we passed this law with the intention of cutting the roots of these firearm issues. But unfortunately, as I've asked, how many people have been prosecuted? Because prosecution will tell you whether we've done well or we have not done well. That is a yardstick to tell.
Yeah.
If you pass a law to stop something, and rather after passing the law, it's become worse, then you have failed.
The act is not serving
it means that in the beginning, I was one of the people who were contacted to put in, send suggestions. I said I won't because I told them, seriously speaking, I want to be careful. But I said it was a bogus law because we already had an enactment, which we have not used well.
Okay. Can you educate us?
Because then we already have some law policing firearms.
Okay.
We haven't used well. And also, what do you call that? Vigilantism and other acts. If you were to, you couldn't just go onto somebody. We've had various laws. Then we decided, let's make it worse. Okay. Right?
Yeah.
Who are the people digging our soil and destroying our water bodies?
That's right.
Is it not the Chinese? They are here.
Yes.
We are acting as accomplices to aid them. We bring them. Yeah. And so mine is that you cannot discuss a lot of the things happening in this country without relating it to the Vigilantism Act we promulgated is been assented onto, but unfortunately, my dear Matilda, it really hasn't served
its purpose.
Show me one person who has been prosecuted. And I will tell you without mincing words, we have pastors in this country who showed firearms, threatening people with firearms. And, you know, prosecutions starts and it is done on behalf of the AG. Private persons cannot go to court per our law to go and prosecute. So if the AG decides that you are a party member, so I'm not going to prosecute you, me, Adam Bona, can I do that? I cannot do that. You can call and call and call. If it's only when he decides that you will file something called nolle prosequi that he will. And so mine is that until such a time that we begin to look at the whole constitution of this country, not throw it away, but do some amendments so that state institutions and people put into certain positions can act and act well. It is going to be very difficult. And just like my premise was on Niger, Burkina, and the rest, no one begin to think that as for us, oh, we are far away from these things. The young people are arming and arming and arming. The older folks are arming, the young people are arming. So if we don't do things right, we are going to be overwhelmed.
So as a lawyer, do you think this act has served its purpose?
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me on the show, and greetings to all your viewers. I agree only to an extent of what my senior brother and then an expert in the field, says. To the extent that there are challenges with implementation, I agree that the law has some shortfalls or shortcomings. But imagine a situation where there isn't anything at all. So if you look at the history of that act, specifically Act 999, Vigilantism and Related Offences Act 2019, if you look at it, you would realize that prior to that time, there has really been a lot of political party groups, people that are formed, associations and groups, mainly for the purpose of intimidating other people. So you have all kind of names. If you look behind the last schedule of the act, the Azoka Boys, the power people, the list is endless. And so there was a need to curtail that, as well as deal with the rampant issues of land guard activities in the country. But these days, if you look at almost all the land-related issues, there's one person or the other guarding it. I can tell you for a fact that after the passage of that law, the activities of land guards in relating to lands have come down. It's not totally eradicated, but it's come down. But I am of the view that, yes, the law has its shortcomings, but that particular law, from where I sit, I believe will be tested the most next year. Because
why do you say that?
Because it was passed in 2019.
And we are in
2023. Came to force fully in 2020.
So 3 years.
Yes, and so all those political party groups, all those associations, the Azoka Boys, and then the things, to a large extent, disappeared or appear to have disappeared. But there is an election coming, and the stakes are high. And so that is the point that we want to see if these laws, the Act 999 amongst all the other host of laws put together, are going to have that effect that it was designed to. It's only at that point and beyond that I can confidently say that, okay, the Act has failed in its implementation. But I, to a large extent, will always be an advocate for the passage of laws to curtail social behaviors or social activities that depart from the way of the law. It may not be perfect, but then it gives us an opportunity to start the discussion from one point. If you look at the Act in the respective parts that it has dealing with the land guard activities, you would realize that the Act puts in place punishments. And so
I know from 5 years to 10 years, others from 5
yes,
to
so
25,
within,
depending on
yes,
the
if you are caught under this law as playing the role of land guard,
Yes.
either you are procuring the people to come and, you know, terrorize people on their lands
Yes.
and things like that,
Yes.
you are looking at up to about 15 years in
15
jail.
years.
Then fast forward came the Land Act of 2020, I think Act 1036, that specifically also created a provision to deal with these land guard related activities, so that if you are found to also be engaging in these things, you can have a minimum. So the minimum for you is 5 years. And so the laws are there. For me, where the problem lies is the implementation. My senior brother mentioned that festivals are coming. Just this weekend,
Yes.
you know, I was at the police station,
Okay.
and gunshots are going on in the upcoming festivals.
And
People are
nobody-
brandishing,
And they
you
were all
know,
watching
weapons,
it.
and the police had arrested a lot. So there's some amount of effort going on.
Okay.
But the problem that I see from where I sit
Okay.
is the political will and commitment. Because the beneficiaries of some of these things are the people that hold the power.
Yes.
And so if you arrest someone, the prosecution in criminal matters is at the behest of the state. And the issue is so complex. People support candidates to come to office, and
Yes.
candidates are not from, you know, from outside the space and then they come.
Yes.
They are from communities.
Yes.
They have leaders.
Yes.
They associate with certain traditions and religions. And so those groups and categories of people have supported the bid of a candidate. And so when some of these things begin to happen, they begin to call on the favors. Yes, we have supported you. It's time.
Help us.
Help us. And so we need to broaden the scope of these laws. The 999, the 1036, we need to even empower or uplift the status of the Small Arms Commission.
Okay.
Move it from a commission status and give it biting teeth, or teeth to bite. Until we are able to do that, at this point, the Small Arms Commission is just advisory and advocacy role. They do all these advisory and advocacy roles. People are having the need to protect themselves, protect their assets, because there's a perceived failure of the system to protect them.
Okay.
People feel like if I buy a land
Yes.
and I don't put somebody there,
I will lose.
I will lose it. And they have seen it happen over and over and over again. So when the systems are strengthened, when the laws are improved upon, and it's reviewed, I believe that it's better to start from somewhere than nowhere. And so now there is a law.
Okay.
As much as there hasn't been much done in terms of prosecution within the law, it is still a law in this country.
Okay.
And so when you are found foul of that law, you can be held liable for it. You can go to jail for a minimum of 5 and a maximum of 15.
15
In
years.
fact, when you are caught using offensive weapons in the act of vigilantism and then land guard activism, you are looking at up to about 25 years. Then, for those who have political ambitions and then those who are already in politics, when you are convicted using this act, you are barred from contesting public office.
Yeah.
And so the sanctions are heavy. We need to move away from, yes, the law is there, the sanctions are there. We need to make them bite. And so I believe that once we can put some of these things in place, then we can be making headways.
Okay. We'll be right back after this break.
Everyone needs the perfect snack to munch on during a fun moment. Enjoy the tasty McBerry Twist cupcakes, deliciously baked and packaged for a sweet treat. Premium quality cakes baked with love for all, enriched in butter and milk.
Yummy!
McBerry Twist cupcakes, simply irresistible. Try one today. This advert is FDA approved.
So I want to ask this. I'm not supporting what doctor said. More like we have the act, but it's not serving a purpose. You are saying that, well, it's good we have to have it, but maybe the implementation needs to be enhanced.
Yes.
Kind of. But let's look at the section 4. You say of the act. It says aiding and abetting of activities of political party vigilante group. A person shall not directly or indirectly instigate, command, counsel, procure. So all these are just trying to throw light on the fact that if you support, if you instigate, or if you bring up these activities, even as a politician, the law will deal with you.
Yes.
Has that been the case? I think that
so
is
it boils down to
so
the commitment.
All right.
Because if a government is in power and one of its key leading members are found culpable of this law, there's almost always a loophole or a way around the law, either to delay the trial or delay the prosecution.
That is the issue.
You see, it's a function of what it is versus what it ought to be.
Okay.
It is supposed to be like this in the law, but that's far from reality. And in fact, for most laws, when they are passed, you would look at the law as it is in the books and its implementation on the ground. It's supposed to match up and be exactly as it is. But there is some element of discretions that are allowed in the prosecutorial process. And so this particular law was carefully written to rope in everybody so that those who think that they can be a mastermind.
Carefully written, but doctor thinks otherwise.
Yes, I think he
so
will.
Many things were not factored into.
Yes, you see, that is the very reason why we have amendment processes.
All right.
You see, in drafting of laws and constitutions and all these, you can't get it perfect.
Okay.
Even our constitution has been amended before, if you're aware. So if the supreme law of the land has even been amended before, then, these laws are enactments that are capable of growth. Even if it is perfect or it appears to be perfect for today, tomorrow new ways of doing political party vigilantes activities and new ways of terrorizing people for their lands and their things will emerge.
Okay.
It could be cyber form, it could be all these forms. And the laws have to grow to match up. And so I believe that once Doc is here and he's part of the commission, we need to see more of the advocacy. We need to see how the commission is putting in place activities, rolling out plans to put the advocacy out there. Because it appears that we only hear about these things on a seasonal basis. So when festivals are approaching, when elections are approaching, then we begin to hear these activities. The laws are there. But why are we not, ensuring that these laws are there? Private individuals can file a complaint, file a petition. There are institutions that handle these. And so if we as citizens also want to be involved in the process to ensure that the laws are used or people are prosecuted to the full extent of the law, we must be involved in the process. Like our president says, that we must not be spectators. And so we must be involved in the process. And I believe that it's only when we get involved in the process, increase the advocacy, and then the institutions and authorities that are also involved in amendments of these laws, if they also come in and everybody brings their knowledge and experience on board, then I think we can head somewhere. But then, even with a perfect law, if there's no will to implement, then it is as dead or as useless to a very large extent if we don't even have it. So that's what I think, and that's what I believe about it.
I don't know how many people know about this act or this law in place, because it looks like because of let's say unemployment issues, these young men and women are employed into it. I mean, by these politicians, by these big people that go and guard my land, go and do it, without knowing its implication it will have on their future. So what do we have to do to let them know that there is an act in place to make sure that you don't do this? Because once they don't know, I mean, I'm not saying that because they don't know, they will not be prosecuted.
Yes.
But don't you think people should know or be aware that there are acts or there are laws in place?
Exactly.
And so they have to.
Exactly. You know, it's very good you have brought up this question. And just like you said, ignorance of the law is not an excuse.
Exactly.
And so I'm very happy that we're having this program today. And then this also forms some form of advocacy, and then some form of awareness creation, because there are millions of people that are watching. And so we need everybody to know that if you are being procured, you are being directed, you are being instructed, your mind is being controlled to engage in land guard activities, you should know that when you are caught, you are looking at a minimum of 5 years imprisonment. And so if you will rather go to jail for 5 years, which once you are arrested, and then we can establish that that is what you were doing.
Probably they are thinking that because I belong to a political party or a group, I will not be prosecuted, just like Doctor said.
But there are people in jail. You see, when you go to our jails, it is not only one color party that is in the jail.
Exactly.
Everybody is there. And so if you want to take that risk, that because you belong to party A or party B, you will go ahead and then do it. Once you are arrested, you will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. Sometimes some of the big fishes get away. Ask yourself, are you a big fish? Do you have clouds enough
to also get away?
To get away with it. And so we need people to know that it is an offense, it's a crime. If you are caught, you go to jail. You cannot contest for any public office for, I think, a minimum of 10 years. And so if you have these intentions, you see, people do not know. Some even think that, oh, once I am caught, we'll go to court and then they'll find a way and I get off. But you have a conviction on your record. Once you have a conviction on your record for specifically this act, it goes a long way to bar you from, partaking fully in the democracy of this country. So that's what I believe.
Okay, but I'll come to you again. Doctor, as a security expert, what do we have to do?
Well, I think what we have to do, just as my colleague panelist said, you see, for me, prevention is usually better than trying to cure, what we have failed to prevent. Some of us have advocated several years, to get a national security policy, document together. Fortunately, the national security put it together, so you can imagine since independence, it's just, I think 2 years ago or so, we had a national security policy document put together to serve as a guide. And some of us had to keep pushing till we had it. Now, what needs to be done is to ensure the source of, these firearms. I'm sure if people are not committing crimes, there won't be the need to tighten a certain existing law or even promulgate a law that will, deter people, because then if there is nothing, then there is nothing to deter.
Yeah.
What some of us have pushed for is to get the draft bill, the national, to make the Small Arms Commission become an arms commission.
Okay.
Today, if you Boku is a war zone where you can literally not drive into Boku and come out. And the amount of weapons that are in Boku are not small arms. It says small arms, pump action, AK-47, and some submachine guns. They are using, all manner of weapons. I was there last year or so with the security couples. We went on a tour to Boku. And you can't just drive in there. So what needs to be done is to make sure we have an enactment for the Small Arms Commission today to become a regulator. Because at the moment, when containers arrive at the ports,
Yes.
you don't have, the small arms don't have permission. When I say there's no law backing them to inspect containers, and their specific need would be to identify illicit weapons that are hiding in the containers.
All right.
And so, or when aircrafts land, usually you have security officers inland boarding the aircraft to inspect and make sure you know, weapons are not hidden in the aircraft before it leaves and the aircraft as it arrives, while as it disembarks. Once there's no law permitting the agency to do that, then it becomes difficult. It means that you are literally going to be working on second or third party arrest. And so maybe a customs officer whose work is collecting taxes and all that, he would find a weapon and call, hey, Master, we found a weapon, so come and take it. But probably you would have seen more weapons if you were part of the team that is inspecting. So the law to regulate, you know, what do you call it, importation, manufacturing, storage, as we sit, we don't have a shooting range. We don't have a training facility. So you have the reason why you have a lot of domestic you know, abuse or misuse of firearm is because the guy has gone to literally procure a firearm. He's been licensed, a licensed firearms bearer. If you do, we have a training facility for civilians to go to and be able to train to use firearm or to maintain that firearm. I know of incidents where armed robbers broke into the place. The house owner picks his, pump action weapon which he procured 10 years ago, and he's shaking like a fowl. And the armed robbers come in and they take the weapon from him and they slap him too, and they won't even steal and they leave. They won't even rob him again because what they have had is more valuable than going in there to rob him. Because then it takes them a lot. Because sometimes they hide, these firearms. And so if he comes to your house and he finds them. But if we put in the law, you go to Alabanyo in Konya area, go to Abu Abu, go to other places in the north, in Accra. Those who were, we had the blacksmiths, we have those, typically in every community we had. Today, they are still there. Generations have inherited from great-grandparents. What are they producing? They are no longer producing that the same because the Chinese are producing that the same and bringing them in. So they are producing firearms, but who is regulating it? Artisanship. You cannot stop artisanal firearm production. We can regulate it by putting them in groups and making sure that the firearms you are producing would meet a certain standard. That we should have facilities. So this law, it's taken us over 4 years to draft the law with the help of ECOWAS, the AU, GIZ, the Germans, and European Union have aided us to do it. What is now left is for us to get it passed into law. Fortunately, government has promised to get it passed into law. We are getting, the Minister of the Interior is going through the process of making sure the control list. We should have the national control list, which helps us to know what we are controlling. So that, I think, very soon might go to cabinet and it will be passed into law. Once all these things are done, which we should have done first, then you can have the preventative laws, like my colleague lawyer said, my colleague, the lawyer said, what's the name? The act is not useless per se. But at the moment, what we need to strengthen that particular law, we don't have it. So you will try and try and try. But once you are not stopping the supply chain, you get what I'm trying to say? Then the law is inactive. It will be there 25 years, 5 years, this, that. Yes, maybe 1 or 2 people could be prosecuted. But my final words would be to thank yourselves. Let's continue to advocate, or else some countries are becoming banana republics, like we can see in the Sahel. And this issue of security, vigilantism, and all these things are very paramount. This is how Boko Haram and the rest started. And so if we can put in measures to ensure that when we sleep, we sleep. It's important. And also to help the police do their work. I'm an advocate for the police and security in general. If we can help all the security agencies, i.e. the police leading them, to make sure things are done right, 2024 would pass. Because as we said, there is going to be another by-election, we are told, in the corner. And so the police did well in, what's the name? Kumewu, and they did well in Asin. We want them to do well in 2024 so that the bloodshed we saw in 2020, we don't see it. So that whoever wins, we congratulate you. Whoever loses, we say better luck next time. So this will be my last words. And also thanking you for bringing me onto this program.
Let me also hear from Lawyer Sena. So, as a legal practitioner, I mean, doctor has said so many things. What do we have to do? I mean, do we have to bring civil society organizations? How do we, I mean, draw people's attention to these laws in place so that we,
So I believe that this should have a multifaceted approach. The law, the draft bill that the team is putting together, hopefully to get it passed, is one way to deal with it. But we need to look at the act, the 999, in a much broader sense.
All right.
Because the act deals with the vigilantism and land guard activism with the use of offensive weapon as one aspect.
Yes.
And then it also deals with it without the use of offensive weapons, where the macho man syndrome and then cutlasses, machetes, and things are used. So we need to find that distinction.
All right.
And then it also deals separately with those Azorka boys and all those kind of groups that are formed, you know, to intimidate, to, you know, to cast a slur on elections, carrying of ballot boxes, and then all those things. And so we need a holistic approach. This aspect will deal, this law that is being drafted will deal with the arms aspect of it. The intimidation, the harassment, the physical abuse, the use of machetes and all the others would also be dealt with by the substantive law. And so we need the civil society organizations to also step in to join the advocacy, to let the people know that we have a law that deals with, you know, some of these things. And that those who are not even aware that if you are caught under this law, you can be barred from even contesting any public office. All these people should be in the known. And then again, you who is involved in this whole process can go to jail. Minimum 5 years, 10 years, up to about 25 years if you are caught using arms. And so in the process of regulating the arms aspect, this law will come in handy. All the pieces of laws that are scattered within our body of legislative, you know, writings would also come in handy. So as much as we need this law, we would also need an overarching law on the national security, and then all those laws that will help us to implement. So that's what essentially I would say as my last words. The SOEs, the civil society organizations, will have to come in. We all have to play our role. Don't allow yourself to be used
by these political
yes, don't allow yourself to be used. Because at the end of the day, their children are studying abroad. They have private medical facilities abroad. When you have your ear cut or your hands cut, we are all going to Kolebu. And I mean, not to say we have some of the finest medical practitioners on the continent at Kolebu. But then, don't allow yourself to be used because you stand a risk of going to jail for up to 25 years. And that's no mean thing.
It's not.
So I think that's where I would rest on this matter.
Thank you, gentlemen, for coming to educate us. Do not fall foul to this. If you do, you will be prosecuted and you spend a minimum of 5 years to a maximum of 25 years in jail. You do not want to go through this for someone's personal gain. Election is just around the corner. Do not go through this for someone's personal gain again. Be advised. This is Legal Agenda, and my name is Matilda Boate Nati.
I want you so bad, Alpha Cracker. I want you. I wanna say yes, I can't resist. I want you. Ooh, I want you, Alpha Cracker. I want you so bad, Alpha Cracker.
Alpha goodness rich in milk and butter in Alpha Cracker. Yummy and deliciously crunchy.
But I can't resist you.
Alpha Crackers, simply irresistible.
This advert is FDA approved.
The question I want to ask: which role do you think Chief Bukrunabo will be playing to facilitate the appointment of an IGP?
Honorable Chair, Chief Bukrunabo, as we all know, is a politician. He was the original chair for the MPP in the Northern region. And now, he is a National Council member. And when we met him in the course of our conversation, he did indicate that he recommended the current IGP to the president. So he made a statement. And if a politician tells you this, as to whether or not it is true, you leave it as it is. Because I don't need any appointment. And I wasn't, again, as well lobbying for anybody.
If you look at Regulation 82, 1CI, and if I may read that just to refresh your memory. Regulation 82 of CI 76, in other words, Ghana Police Service Regulation 2012, 82. Right. Major offenses. It is a major offense for an officer to engage in an activity outside official duties, which is likely to involve the officer in political controversy. I am very happy you know that Chief Bukrunabo is a politician, and a very seasoned one as such, the former regional chairman of the MPP, a National Council member of the MPP. Discussing matters of the appointment of IGP with Chief Bukrunabo and mentioning the name of the executive secretary to the president, Mr. Asante Beduatu's name, in the discussions. Do you, in your own professional mind, believe that this will not stoke political controversy?
Mr. Chair, we would want to object to this question. It is our considered view that answering this question may lead to the witness incriminating himself. Because, number one, it is a legal question. Honorable member has already referred to the police service regulations, the title is Major Offenses, and he going to answer in that manner may lead to unforeseen circumstances. So, my Lord, we would want to object to it.
You see, my humble view is that he was just telling him what you should know. You know, he's a senior police officer, understand? So when he brings to the fore the position of the law vis-a-vis his conduct, he should just comment on it. Whether he wanted to violate the laws, you know, of the service or not, or what he said is something else. I don't want to have to answer it, but I do not believe that this can give him troubles. Because, bear in mind, the trouble already is on the video. Nobody's going to create trouble for anybody. The trouble is already on the video. The audio, sorry. And the whole world has heard the trouble. So, please, I don't believe that this is an unfair question and it will have self-incriminating consequences for Superintendent Asare.
Except that, Chairman, except that, maybe Honorable Peter should lay the foundation. Whether, you know, those words attributable to him are true, that would then form the basis for the second question, because there's a certain assumption that he said them without first establishing from him.
You see, this is Superintendent. The reason why I'm quiet looking at you like that is that when he's saying certain things and attribute them to you, and you know that he didn't say it, I mean, what do you do? So if he comes out with an assumption and then you believe that the assumption is wrong, I'm not saying it's wrong or it's right. It depends on you. So, Counsel, I mean, I know that he's a very senior police officer and he has the benefit of two lawyers. So listen to the questions critically, because under what he's trying to, put across is an assumption of truth. And whether you accept the assumption of truth or not is up to you. So, Honorable, would you want to probably rephrase and help him to answer? But trust me, if it's self-incriminating, we will let you know that, look, he shouldn't answer. But I don't believe this one is self-incriminating.
I'm grateful.
Thank you very much, Chairman. But Superintendent Asare himself knows that I will not push him in the corner, that he will suffocate.
No, he doesn't know. You used to be a police officer. At that time, as if you are romancing a person to put him in a corner to suffocate. So I don't trust your bona fides, you know.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Let me lay proper foundation.
Is what? Amazing. Amazing. Well, but I can assure you that by my training as a criminal attorney, you should be careful whether he's not leading you into a blind alley. You have those things. This is what people use in tricking witnesses and all that, but...
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Let me just lay a foundation. Page 22 of the original transcript. Counsel, if you may just get it. Page 22. In the middle, after Speaker 3 says, thank you, Alaju continues, if I will try to read the tree. Semeka Chiremo se Mikura bomb, my two bomb bako. To which I told you I had a bomb. I dropped one. That is Alaji. And you came in to say, Miti se Odi bedia tu kra juma. Eye me say on kanokre enchirano. To which I heard he reprimanded bedia tu. It seems he doesn't tell him the truth. Alaji came back to say, we'll see. To wait, pardon me. And you came in. Me say, me say, President no, di bedu atu adwuma, say, onka. He has not been telling him the truth. To wait, I said, I heard the president reprimanded bedu atu for that. For not, he has not been telling him the truth. Alaji says, yes, yes, yes. And Commissioner Mensah ended that page by saying, Bediato does not tell the president what is going on. And I'm asking a question. You are a senior police officer. Here is what you said about the involvement of Bediato on this whole matter. If you go to page 23, page 23, just the first paragraph. And then, Menina Nado, Wafasi, say wunim area mama. Or see, now everybody has put a blame on Bediato. And the question I was just asking, the president's Wafasi area mama is coming into the picture. The executive secretary to the president is coming into the picture, and presumably the statement in there, which is quite dangerous, the president's executive secretary doesn't tell him the truth. And I'm asking the question. If you look at Regulation 82, 1C1, which talks about the ability to be able to prevent yourself or absolve yourself from political controversy. And as a professional police officer, I was just asking a simple question. Do you believe that this does not qualify that you stoke political controversy in the system?
Mr. Chair, I think this question comes in two forms. One, comment about Nana Asante Bediato. And the second form is also about area mama. As no speaker. Honorable Chair, these matters were strictly private and confidential matters, which I did not intend to make it public, and I do not intend to do so.
Thank you. Since you do not intend to progress from that angle, and chairman is quiet, it means that chairman doesn't have a problem with your position. But if I may end, do you know how Chief Bugri Nabo and Superintendent JB met? Do you know how they met?
We want to object to this question.
About it. What was the question? I was being distracted by a consultant on some other matter. What was the question?
Chief Bugunaru indicated to this committee that you introduced Superintendent JB to him. But I was just asking a very simple question. Do you know how they met? Whether it was your introduction that qualifies for the first meeting, or they knew each other before you got them together?
Mr. Chair, we think that the question, no proper foundation has been raised in this question. The witness has already indicated that he never did any introduction between JB and Alaji. So therefore, asking, do you know how they met? It creates the impression that he has already admitted there was a meeting and he has to now explain how they met. We believe that this is not a proper...
Yes, but you see, this is not even a matter of law. You understand? The big man here should be able to say that, Honorable, I've never admitted I've met, I've introduced JB, and therefore your question is wrong in the first instance, and then you go on. They are very simple matters, though. You see, the legalities is what should concern you. But I'm sure he's very, very, very good enough to understand, I mean, if you like, the inherent contradiction of what he's saying. Because you've told the committee, I've never introduced JB to anybody. So you should repeat it. I expected him to say that, no. So, Council, I think your client is very safe and very intelligent. And both of them are policemen. Yeah, so you should understand where he's going, you know. The police, they have a way of asking questions, but when another policeman is answering another policeman, there shouldn't be difficulty. Unless there's a legal trap, and trust all of us here. We'll protect him. You know the number of lawyers who are here? 1, 2, 3. We'll protect him. The great consultant too. So I do not believe this is a serious, I mean, question which is self-incriminating or, yeah, but I'm only craving the indulgence of my colleague to learn. And I'm also praying that Superintendent Asare is listening well. Please.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Before I land, you know, as the chair puts it, none of us here has an interest to incriminate anybody. No. Chief Buguru Nabu made some assertions, and if it had to do with you, it is an opportunity for me to put it before you so that at least you have the chance to say yes or no, because it means a lot for your own integrity. Chief Buguru Nabu appeared before the committee and said, I spoke to Superintendent Jebi on phone in my office, and Superintendent Asare was there. Is this assertion true or not?
Mr. Chair, the assertion is false.
Mr. Chair, if I am permitted to stand down now, if I may come back later, in other words, this is how far I can go. Thank you.
Honorable Patrick Wama will have a stand.
Thank you, Chairman. I have a few questions, some few questions for Superintendent Asare, or Chief.
Superintendent, Honorable Chair.
Very well, thank you. You've told this committee that your closeness to Chief Nabu was as a result of his son being your spiritual father.
That is so, Honorable Chair.
How long have you known the son, please?
Honorable Chair, if I'm not mistaken, I've known Prophet for about 2 years. I know him, but that time he wasn't my friend. But since we had that bond, it is about 2 years now.
Just 2 years?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
I see. Does he operate a church, or he's just freelance?
Honorable Chair, he only prays for me anytime we come into contact. And it was a friend that introduced him to me. That is a pastor. He is a prophet. He's very good. And ever since I met him, I've seen some changes. He's giving me some directions, and some of them worked. Yes.
So, have you? I want to yield to the chair for.
Yes, Superintendent. You said a man should prophesy for you, and as a senior police officer, you didn't investigate his bona fides, where he was functioning from, and the rest of it. Is that what you want this committee to believe?
Honorable Chair, I know he has a church, but I have never been there. He prays for me on phone. Yes, and I could remember there was a time. No. When was that? The second time I went there, the second time I went to Bugri Nabu's office on his invitation, I suggested to him after our deliberation that he should help the son to get his own church. For according to him, he's following somebody and it's not helping him. So he wants to have his own church. So Alaji should help him. And Alaji asked me, as you told me, he prays for you. Does his prayers work? And I asked, hey, Alaji, your own son, you don't trust him. Why do you do this? Just help him find his own church, whether his prayers work or it doesn't work. That one, we will take it from there. What he needs is his own church building. Yes, I remember I had a discussion with Chief Bugri Nabu.
But did he prophesy to you that you'll be taped? Or he didn't prophesy to you that you'll be taped?
Honorable Chair, even our almighty TB Joshua, that is known in our sub-region as most powerful spiritually, his church building collapsed on his church members and he didn't know. So it will be difficult for men of God to see everything. Sometimes certain things may escape you, as human as you are.
Honorable Bwama, you are in the prophetic. Move on.
I don't want to assume that responsibility, Chairman. So you had 3 encounters with Chief Nabu. 1 with his son. 2 when he invited you and asked for suggestions for a new IGP. The 3rd one was a meeting of the 19th June 2023 at 5:57 p.m. You said to us, good. Where were you in 2012, 2016, and 2020 during the elections?
Honorable Chair, 2012, I was the district crime officer, Tesano, and Honorable member was my MP then in Iowa, Okankwe Central then. And 2016...
2012, I was a candidate.
So you were a candidate, yes. You were a candidate, that's correct. And you won.
I did.
Yes. And 2016, I was in Mamprobi. 2020, headquarters. Headquarters, police, national headquarters.
So, you've never supervised an election as a district commander or a divisional commander?
Mr. Chair, the election 2012, I supervised the election in my area of responsibility in Tesano.
But you are not a district commander or the divisional commander then?
I was made the one in charge the task force, the security task force. But the deployments and everything were done by my commanders, the district commander and the divisional commander.
Okay. This whole inquiry or probe is about suspicions of a politically favored Inspector General of Police who could influence the outcome of an election. That's why I asked you where you were in 2012, 2016, and 2020. Can you tell this committee whether that is possible?
Honorable Chair, if you may repeat the question.
The discussions between Commissioner Mensah and Chief Nabu was to get a favorable IGP who could assist the government of the day in elections. If you listen to the tape well.
Mr. Chair, the question is now clear. The meeting that we had with Chief Bugri Nabu had gotten nothing to do or had nothing to do with politics. At all. And I repeat, at all. Chief Bugri Nabu invited me that I should come with him. My first invitation, unless, of course, somebody tells me, if somebody is a politician, when even he asks you of your name, you are not supposed to answer. Politicians are our brothers. They are our friends. Some of them are our mates. Like my brother, Honorable Peter Tobu. I cannot say Peter Tobu is now a politician, so I shouldn't talk to him. No, it got nothing to do with politics. At all.
So, this mafia, supposed mafia in elections that was discussed on the tape, and you have the benefit of the transcript. Do you agree with that, please? Supposed mafia. Exhibit 1, page 4. I know you were not there, yes, but you've had the benefit of going through the transcript. And I want to find out from you whether you believe that in elections or organization of elections, as was discussed in the tape, there can be some mafia work, in quote, as was stated on record.
Honorable Chair, as Riley said, when that particular statement was made, I wasn't there. But listening to the tape, if I'm to give a comment on that, what I have to say is that you have had the opportunity to see my work in your constituency. And Honorable Peter will attest to the fact that I'm the type, my 1 is 1, my 2 is 2. I don't lie. My 1 is 1, my 2 is my 2. What is good for the good is equally good for the gander. What you aren't supposed to do, I would never encourage you to do it, especially if I'm supervising or I'm part of the operational team. No way. Anybody that knows me will tell you. You can do background check about me. I don't believe in mafiaism.
You see, it's not that you don't believe in mafia. He's just trying to pick your brain. That's a serious police officer of long standing. Is it the case, or is it not, that in electoral competition, there could be tendencies of people trying to use mafia so they win elections? That's all he's asking.
Honorable, that is something that is supposed not to be entertained. It is not a good thing.
Yes, it's to be entertained. I agree. We know it's very wrong. But is there a likelihood, or can it even be the practice, based on your experience, that in electoral competition of the nature we have in this country, as to who should be an MP and a president, some people could use mafia tactics? Do you believe in these things, or you think that is somebody's imagination?
Oh, Honorable Chair, mafia tactics we hear after elections. People complain. News publications, you hear that this thing happened here, this thing happened here. And I see them to be mafia tactics, which shouldn't be entertained.
So you want to admit that there can be the possibility of the political players trying to use mafia tactics to get electoral advantage over their opponents as a senior police officer?
Exactly so.
Yes, that's all he's trying to say.
So, Superintendent, on that fateful day when you went to Chief's office at about 5:57 p.m., who were the other people in the office?
Honorable Chair, I went to meet two persons. One, Chief Bugri Nabu. Two, my boss, COP Mr. George Alex Mensah.
And what was the subject matter for that meeting?
Honorable Chair, when I got there, the meeting had almost ended. If you... okay. When I got there, the meeting had already ended. And from my deductions, I saw that Chief Bugri Nabu wanted to tell us that there's going to be a possible changes in the top hierarchy of our work, and that it could be possible Commissioner will get a nod.
So
as to whether or not he was lying, I cannot tell.
So the discussions were on who becomes the next IGP.
Yes, Honorable Chair.
And you had arranged for Commissioner Mensah to see Chief Nabu.
Honorable Chair, that is not it. As I did indicate, our visitation to his office was at the instance of Chief Bugri Nabu. I didn't arrange whatsoever for any meeting.
So the entire police service, Commissioner Mensah meeting Chief Nabu, there couldn't have been any other officer to have joined that meeting than Superintendent Mensah. Asare, sorry, please.
Honorable Chair, it was because I introduced or recommended him to Chief Bugri Nabu.
So you were the fixer.
Honorable Chair, fixer as in what?
The go between Commissioner Mensah and Chief Nabu.
Honorable Chair, I will dispute this. That's not true. That can't be correct.
But you are the same person who mentioned the names of Commissioner Tiwa, Ernest Ousu, and Yohono to Chief Nabu.
That is correct, Honorable Chair.
So you were in the process of influencing the appointing authority through Chief Nabu for any of these 4 people to be the next IGP.
Honorable Chair, I was just expressing my opinion. Just an expression of opinion. Because I do not have the capacity to appoint an Inspector General of Police. I'm too small.
After that meeting in Osu, you met with COP Mensah.
No, Mr. Chair.
You didn't call him?
I cannot recall, but he is the type, you know, Mr. George Alex Mensah is the quiet type. Very quiet, he doesn't talk. My honorable brother, Honorable Peter Tobu, can attest to this fact. That is the quiet type. He doesn't talk at all. Had it not been that day when he was seated by my right-hand side, I never knew he could talk like that. Even though he taught me at the police college. Yes. But that is all that I know. He doesn't talk. So for me to be calling him, no, unless he calls me.
You have a lot of respect for him.
That is correct, Honorable Chair.
And he appeared here and said that the police administration is not being managed properly by the current IGP. What do you have to say to that?
Honorable Chair, as humble and obedient servant as I am, who am I to sit in public and comment about the performance of my IGP or the police administration? I can never pass comment in public like that.
Excuse me. But would you be able to be honest professionally and comment on the performance of the IGP and the police service in camera?
Exactly so.
Well, so if you can comment in camera, then it's a good idea. We would want to hear you on that. So, is it not the case that there are about 19 officers at the inspection unit of the service instead of 4, as alluded to by Commissioner Mensah?
Mr. Chair, in as far as I'm concerned, that statement made by my commissioner was a statement of fact. Yes, Mr. Chair.
Is it the case that there are some officers due for promotion that believe that their promotions are being stifled by the IGP?
Honorable Chair, not quite long ago, I drew your attention to the fact that there are some comments that can be passed in camera, and there are some others that can be passed in public. Any attempt to make any statement in public that will seek to downgrade the very service in which I find myself, I will be doing in public, I will be doing myself more harm than good.
So why didn't you tell the honorable member that lead me not into temptation? You should have just told me, and then you...
I think, Honorable Chairman, for the sake of consistency,
yes,
you know, the other day I had tried to ask a number of questions bordering on similar issues, but I thought the consensus built was that some of those things be dealt with in camera. And so I think we would have to be consistent here and oblige the witness the opportunity to make some of those disclosures in camera.
Yes. Thank you, Vice Chair. Honorable Boama, please continue.
Chairman, I have just two questions. So the decision is that the question of the performance of the IGP and promotions in camera. Thank you. Were you in Kumawu for the by-election, please?
No, Mr. Chair.
Asare North?
No, Mr. Chair.
That's about all, Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member, and my brother who has a lot of understanding on agricultural matters. Yes. Yes. I don't know. I don't know whether you have been penciled as a minister for agri designate. Yes.
Oh, Eric. I think let me ask Chairman the question.
Are you suggesting
is that an admission that the break the eighth mantra would fail?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
I have to overrule this. You know. Oh, please proceed here.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Once you people break at 8, we will continue. Mr. Chairman, my first question to Commander Asare is that your narrative before this committee this morning is gripping but incomplete. You indicated to the committee that Chief Nabu asked you of your opinion about the performance of the IGP. And to quote you, you said, and I told him, is that opinion captured in the audio before the committee?
Honorable Chair, in my earlier statement to the committee, it was clear that the tape is incomplete. Whoever masterminded that tape, which of course you get to know it by the close of day, if not today, maybe, I don't know when the in-camera will take place. But before I sign out, you understand everything. I will end it here.
Sorry. I think
yes, Honorable Chair.
I asked a very simple question. you have indicated to this committee that Chief Nabu asked you about your opinion on the performance of the current IGP. And you said you told him of your opinion. And I'm asking whether that opinion you expressed is captured in the audio before us or not.
Honorable Chair, this additional information as regards the tape that has been played here in about 3 consecutive occasions, there was nowhere in the tape that this statement was made. And you can allude to that fact. It is a fact. I gave it as an additional information which was not captured in the tape, just to make a point that the tape is doctored.
So you think that when the original tape is found, your opinion relative to the performance of the IGP will be heard in the audio?
For now, I don't know, Honorable Chair.
An opinion on the performance of the IGP to Chief Nabu. You did.
Honorable Chair, that meeting was private and confidential. And in confidential matters or private matters, let me tell you, Honorable Chair, for Christ's sake, supposing every conversation that people have in privacy comes to public domain, I tell you, if you hear what people talk about you in privacy, you will never come to Parliament again. I'm being honest with you.
Yes.
Yes, in privacy, so many things happen.
Superintendent.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
You are preaching to the converted. And you shouldn't be doing this pontification at all. We are aware. We are aware of what happens in private, you know. But he's asking a very simple question. He's asking that you have said on oath that the tape is doctored and that you expressed an opinion about the performance of the IGP. Is it true or false? That's all he wants to know. That you ever expressed an opinion about the performance of the IGP.
Honorable Chair, that is true.
That is true that you express your opinion about the performance of the IGP to Chief Nabu. Is that what you're saying?
Honorable Chair, that opinion was in response to a question posed to me during the meeting by Chief Bugri Nabu.
So the answer is yes.
Yes.
So sometimes say yes and not add more. Yes, please.
And you said to this committee that you cannot repeat the same opinion here because of the cameras. Is that what you're telling us?
Exactly so.
And so the assurance is that if you are given the opportunity, you will do so in camera.
That's correct. That's correct, Honorable Chair.
Chairman, can I just a second?
Oh, a follow-up. Yeah.
Okay.
Superintendent Asare.
Yes, Honorable Chair.
I don't know why you struggle to simplify matters. Is it wrong for a police officer to express an opinion about the performance of his boss or her boss? Is it wrong? Why are you struggling to answer the question?
Honorable Chair, not in public. You can. In privacy, you can. But in public, you cannot.
ask you a question about area mama. And there's a statement in the audio that is attributed to you. The statement says that, I would like to quote. I would like to quote from page 23. Speaker 3, the first one, Speaker 3. Ene, mene nana do wafa se wunim area mama. Or say now, everybody has put a blame on Bediatio. To wait, today, I was with Nanado's niece. You know area mama. She said everybody has put the blame on Bediatio. This is a statement captured in the audio as having been made by you. And when Honorable Tobu asked you about area mama, your answer was that it was a private conversation, and therefore you wouldn't want to make a comment on it. Do you confirm that this is a statement that you made?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
But you cannot disclose the details to this committee because of the cameras. Is that the case?
Honorable Chair, I have not said so.
Okay. Area Mama told you that everybody is imputing the blame on Mr. Bediatio. Is that correct?
That is not correct, Honorable Chair.
But you earlier on admitted that you made the statement, and that's what the statement says.
Honorable Chair, yes, indeed, I admitted, but it was a hearsay.
Hearsay from where?
He's dropping. I was somewhere. People were having their conversation, and I also heard it.
Commander Asare, I read the statement being attributed to you, and you said, yes, it is your statement. And that statement says, Ene mene nana adowo fase sewunim area mama. Or say now everybody has put a blame on Bediatio. To wait, today, I was with Nanado's niece. You know area mama. She said everybody has put the blame on Bediatio. So you are rather telling Bugri Nabu, Chief Nabu, and the COP Mensa of what area mama told you. And so why are you talking about hearsay? Because you are reporting a statement having been made to you by area mama.
Honorable Chair, I do not want to go into the details of this matter because it was a private conversation. It wasn't meant for public consumption.
Commander, I think earlier on, I asked you this question, and you said no. You said no. I asked you whether you said you didn't want to discuss the details here because of the camera. You said no. Do you want to change that answer?
Honorable Chair, I don't remember making that statement. I don't remember. Can take me back well.
You said that, Senior, you should take it easy. You should take it easy and do not confuse an otherwise very good thing you've started. You've told this committee, I've been listening to you critically, Your counsel is here too. And I'm always looking into the eyes of your counsel. That there are certain things about the IGP and the police service that you cannot say on camera. But when we have an in-camera hearing, you'll be able to say it. Do you want to change this narrative?
Honorable Chair, I still stand by that narrative.
That's all. That is where he's taking you. You can see. Yeah.
So you said it was a hearsay, and then you eavesdropped. What exactly do you want to tell us relative to this particular statement. What is the hearsay about this?
Honorable Chair, just as I did indicate earlier, that granted the opportunity to speak to this matter in camera, I am more than prepared to do so.
I just want to look at this issue of hearsay because I drew your attention to an emphatic statement that you have made. And then under oath you have admitted that indeed you made a statement. And then when I asked you further questions relating to the same statement, you said, oh, it was just a hearsay. And I wanted the committee to be very clear in our minds. When we talk about hearsay relative to this, what do you mean?
Honorable Chair, I want to remain on my stance that granted the opportunity to speak to this issue in camera, I'm ever prepared to do that.
Withdraw that hearsay comment. Would you want that to be withdrawn or expunged from the records? Because you have earlier on accepted the statement as your own statement. And so there shouldn't be anything like hearsay relative to this. Do you want that to be expunged from the records?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
Okay, so the part of the proceedings in which the witness said the matters concerning Area Mama and Bediacho are hearsay, and what other word was used? And hearsay and what? And eavesdrop are hereby expunged from the record.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, these statements, or particularly this statement, is already in the public domain because of the audio. And everywhere in this country and across the boundaries of our country, everybody now knows that this is a statement that emanated from you. So I was of the view that looking at the way you've been explaining matters before this committee, you do yourself some good by getting the public to know what exactly transpired relative to this statement. But if you prefer in camera, we'll take it like that and then proceed. Then, just beneath this one, there is another statement. Bediacho and the man are like this, Dampare. He has been the cause of all the problems. So, Alaji, today, I want to hear something good. Commissioner is here, and he's the one, as I've already told you, every policeman, and then it ended. This is also captured in the audio as your own statement. Do you also confirm before this committee that this is your statement?
Honorable Chair, with the greatest of respect, I want to be silent on this issue.
That's not what he's saying. That's what I'm saying. You know, Superintendent Asare, oh, please confer first. So let the records reflect that Superintendent Asare is conferring with his counsel.
Honorable Chair, we are done.
You done? Superintendent, please, with the greatest of respect. What he's doing with you, if you are not careful, I'm a chairman, I don't have to say the consequence of what we are attempting to do. You know, he's merely bringing to the fore what is on the tape. That's all he's doing. So if you confirm what is on the tape, say so. Yes, I confirm what is on the tape. But to dilate on it, I might want to do it in camera. Simple. But immediately you distance yourself from what is on the tape. So please, the difference is very thin, but be careful. Be very, very careful. So, Honorable, I crave your indulgence if you can ask him the question again to refresh his memory. And, Superintendent Asare, do you want to drink some water? You are, if you are challenged, we can excuse you. But if you want to drink some water, it helps, you know. Yes.
Mr. Chair, I'm okay.
You are okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. So, Commander Asare, the question was a simple one, a very harmless question. That on page 23, just beneath the first statement that we just talked about, there is another statement that reads, Bediatio and the man are like this. Dampare, he has been the cause of all these problems. So, Alaji, today, I want to hear something good. Commissioner is here, and he is the one. As I have already told you, every policeman, and then it ended. And I asked, do you confirm that this is your statement?
Exactly so, Honorable Chair.
So when you say he has been the cause of all these problems, what specific problems were you talking about?
Honorable Chair, I'm not ready to talk about this matter. I want to reserve my right to remain silent on it.
I know as a trained police officer, you have investigated into several matters, and you are trained on how to conduct investigations and get the relevant information to proceed with whatever you want to do. I hope you do not intend to hide any relevant information that you know from this committee. Is that correct?
That's correct, Honorable Chair.
And so when you indicate that somebody is the cause of all the problems, the name of the person is mentioned. In fact, Bediatio is a very prominent person in the current government. And so if he is the cause of all these problems, do you think that it will not be relevant for us to know the problems that you're talking about?
Honorable Chair, I insist on my earlier response.
Superintendent.
Mr. Chair.
He asked you a very simple question, that you do not intend to conceal material evidence from this committee. And you say yes. To follow up then, what you want to remain silent about? Would it be good to divulge in full and in honesty in camera?
Honorable Chair, with your indulgence, it was a rumor I picked, and I spoke to Alhaji about it.
Senior police officer, we are very confident to peddle rumors. Oh.
Honorable Chair.
Yes.
This was a private conversation.
It doesn't matter. You see, I've never met you that we've had a private conversation, but I feel very offended that at your level of experience and intelligence, you'll be peddling rumors to me. We should be above rumors. We do with substance and truth. That's what you should be doing, because the state depends on you, so we can go to bed. Imagine your intelligence on the way we should run the system is on rumors. It's fatal to our security, you don't know. Why are you saying these things? Do you want us to give you a break? Do you need a break? We are not in a hurry. Yeah, you
Not
matter
now.
to us. Do you want to have a break?
Not now, Honorable Chair. Let's proceed.
Sorry, you want to proceed?
Yes.
Okay.
So the rumor was that Mr. Bediatu was the cause of all the problems. Is that the rumor you are talking about?
That is correct, Honorable Chair.
And because it was a rumor, you didn't even bother to know the problems. Is that not the case? Or you know the problems?
Honorable Chair, the rumors have made my position clear, especially when he asked about the performance of the IGP. I told you in camera the statement I made. I will make it known to you. But if it's about the rumor, then it will be a most laborious task. We hear rumors every day. Every day we hear rumors. So if you make it a duty to investigate all rumors, then you'll be in trouble.
What about if you make it a duty to spread rumor?
Superintendent, when you heard the rumor, did you do any verification? Did you take pains to confirm what you heard?
Honorable Chair, it was a social discussion. So I didn't bother to check.
Do you regret peddling the rumor in question, given that you didn't do any verification, but put it out there to the hearing of Chibugri Nabu?
Honorable Chair, on hindsight, yes, because I didn't know that they were going to make it public.
Commander Asare, you gave a very insightful explanation about lobbying. And looking at the engagement, clearly you were lobbying Chief Nabu. You wanted Chief Nabu to ensure, to work towards getting COP Mensa appointed as the IGP. Is that not correct?
Mr. Chair, far from that. That's not correct. It was Chief Bugri Nabu that invited me to his office. And the records are there.
And so when you...
that's the first answer. If not answer the second. I'm sorry. Were you lobbying or not? Oh.
Honorable Chair, that was why I said far from that. I wasn't lobbying for anybody.
You should say so.
So when you said, I want to hear something good, what was this something that you were expecting?
Honorable Chair, it is because he said that the commissioner, that's admirable to almost all the policemen, well respectable, granted the opportunity to be the head of the Ghana Police Service. Policemen will go gay. So basically, that was the feeling I expressed. And it wasn't because of lobbying.
And so, you wanted, as you have already alluded to, COP Mensah to become the IGP. And that is what you were talking about just now. Is that not it?
Granted that, Honorable Chair, granted that he's giving the nod, I'll be happy. And it is worthy of note that every policeman, my good brother and mate, now Honorable Peter, I never knew there was a middle name started by L. My middle name also starts with L, so I didn't know that. Every policeman's dream, like politicians, every politician's dream, if I'm not mistaken, is that one day he will be a minister or a president.
You are mistaken. You are mistaken. Why are you saying this things? You are mistaken.
And in the police service, police constable that has joined the service today, his or her dream is that one day he will be the IGP. So if a whole commissioner who joined the police service as a chartered accountant, yes, he joined the police with that qualification, becomes, now he's a commissioner, becomes the IGP, why not? He will be happy. And some of us who have known, who have worked under him and know his capabilities, will also be happy.
Chairman, permission to just help my brother. You know, this is a public hearing. Whatever you say here, the public is listening. Commissioner Mensah didn't join the police as a chartered accountant. That correction ought to be made. The current IGP became a chartered accountant before Commissioner Mensah, and that is how come he became superintendent before Commissioner Mensah. Just a correction for the record. Thank you.
Well noted, Honorable Chair.
And so, when you said, I wanted to hear something good, that good was COP Mensah becoming the IGP. Is that not correct?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
And then on page 24, you indicated, so I should go and look for my white dress. So when you had the assurance, you wanted to be sure, so that you go and prepare your white dress for the celebration. Is that not correct?
Yes, Honorable Chair. Black men, when we hear good news, you'll be in your white apparel.
And the good news is that the current IGP is removed and COP Mensah installed. Is that correct?
The white apparel matter I alluded to. It was made out of the statement, or in response to the statement made by Chief Bugri Nabu. But removal and appointment, you and I do not have any right to do it. It is the sole prerogative of the president.
So you claim that the white dress comment was in response to a statement made by Chief Nabu. What was that statement?
The statement you just made. You just made a statement. Honorable Chair, I can't repeat everything you say here verbatim. Like your verbatim transcription of the audio tape.
What I said
I cannot do that.
What I said was that you made the white dress comment after Chief Nabu had given you assurance that the current IGP will be removed and your favorite, your brother, your boss, COP Mensah, would be installed. Is that not correct?
That's correct, Honorable Chair.
And so were you not lobbying?
Unless I'm being given a different definition of lobbying, I wouldn't take that as lobbying.
Were you lobbying or you were praying? Which is which? Tell the committee, were you lobbying or you were praying that your friend becomes the IGP?
I was giving,
or hoping.
Honorable Chair,
Yes.
I was given an information, I was happy.
Okay.
I was just asked to make a recommendation to somebody. And I did that. And the person is saying, what he told me, it is going to be done. And I was happy.
Who sent Commissioner Mensah's CV to Chief Nabu?
Honorable Chair, I don't know. As Commissioner himself rightly said, that before he went there with me, he had already gone, some people had already taken him to see Chief. So I will not know.
Did you play any role in the Ayawaso by-election?
Of course, yes.
Specific role did you play?
Honorable Chair, during the Ayawaso West Wogon by-election within the constituency, I was the district commander for East Legon. And Ayawaso West constituency has 11 electoral areas. And I think about 2 or 3, I think 3, Bawaleshi, East Legon, and Christian Center electoral areas fell within the East Legon district out of the 11 electoral areas. And the deployment and everything was done by the regional command. So they decide who should be part of the deployment and who should not be part. So in their wisdom, I wasn't made part of the deployment. But what I remember is that when the confusion erupted at a polling station closer to the NDC candidate's house, my regional commander called me and told me that this is what is happening. This is his intel. That there was a total confusion at the place I just mentioned. So I should quickly mobilize men and go there. And as humble and obedient servant, there was nothing I could do than to comply. I did exactly that. And when I went there, I used whatever technique that I had to restore calm in the area. That is all that I know about it.
On 19th of February 2019, there was this publication that was made from proceedings of the commission that investigated into the Ayawaso barbarity. East Legon commander lied. Accra Regional Police Commander tells short commission. The Greater Accra Regional Police Commander has dismissed an earlier statement by the East Legon Police Commander, that's you, that he was sidelined during the Ayawaso West Legon by-election. This is a statement made by the Commander DCOP Edusei Sapon.
Thank you, Mr.
What do you say to this?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is my former regional commander. I cannot use a word he lied, but he said, I lied. I didn't hear, but I read it. But what I can say here, for your records, is that I disagree with him.
Did you appear before the commission?
Of course, yes.
And then you said you were sidelined in the by-election. Is that not correct?
That is correct.
You have told us a different story. That your commander charged you with the responsibility relative to the by-election. Is that not what you're saying?
Honorable Chair, maybe you didn't get me right. The statement I made was that the deployment was done at the regional level. And I went further to say that, Ayawaso West Wogon constituency has 11 electoral areas. Yes. And out of this 11, 3 falls within East Legon district, police district. So I was expecting that. I made this statement at the commission that this is my district. A by-election is going to be held here. I am the commander. Then the deployment, you have taken my name out. So at the commission, at the Short Commission, they inquired as to whether or not, when I saw that my name wasn't in the my name wasn't in the deployment, in the list, did you complain to anybody? And I said yes. If you can still recall, I said yes. I complained to my boss. He was then Chief Superintendent, Mr. Akwesi Fori. And at the commission, I kept referring to him as Akwesi Fori, if you remember. And our former IGP, retired IGP, Mr. Kwesi Champon, was, correcting me that I should mention his name. He's my senior man. I don't have to just call him Kwesi Fori. And I was doing so because I was going to repeat it here too. Chief Superintendent then Kwesi Fori was my friend. Okay, was my friend. Yes. So that was how I was calling Akwesi. Sometimes I used to call him Akwesi. You see? So if I say that later on, the fact that you have not been deployed doesn't mean that you are not working. I am the district commander. I am not part of the exercise. But something is happening. And they have called you. Why? Was I on leave? Was I sick? I was on duty. Something has happened. He may have a very fine reason why he called me to give me that assignment. So that is not to say that I was deployed. The fact that I was not deployed doesn't necessarily mean that should anything untoward happens within your district, you will not go there. That I will not construe it to be deployment. Honorable Chair.
And so when you appeared before the commission and then you spoke under oath that you were sidelined, you spoke the truth. Is that not correct?
When I told the Misort Commission that I was sidelined.
Yes, that was the truth.
Yeah, of course, that was the truth.
And then the then regional commander also appeared and under oath indicated to the commission that you lied. And you are saying that he was being economical with the truth.
Honorable Chair, I want to repeat myself that in the deployment police service, before you go for any operation, they will select men to go and do it. And I was pained in making that statement at the place, at the commission, that I have complained to you at the regional level that I'm the commander there. Why have you taken me out? To the extent that my command car was taken away from me. You understand? If I was part of the exercise, why would I complain? I was in part. But after they had done it and something happened, they will call you. It doesn't matter that you were not deployed. You were not part of this. I wasn't part at all. I still stand by the statement I made. I didn't lie. So the statement that I lied, I wouldn't say my master lied, but I would say I disagree with him.
Let's proceed. Now, page 21 of the transcript. Page 21. Down there. There is speaker 3. You've seen speaker. Oh, is it speaker 3? Yes, speaker 3. Have you seen it? Matisse Enche. Page 21. Na ene minim say yabai commissioner no abai die. Mo de bebo yani wom. Makodi di ma shame white a guho to wait. I've heard that it will not keep long, but today I know that coming here, since the commissioner himself is here, you handle it right. You will handle it right. I have eaten. I have prepared my white attire. This is also captured in the audio as a statement having come from you. Do you confirm this?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
You said to Chief Nabu that you will handle it. What exactly were you talking about? You will handle it. I know, because the commissioner is here today, you handle it. What exactly were you talking about when you said you handle it? What was he to handle?
Honorable Chair, as you rightly said, on Chief Bugri Nabu did state that enche krano yebeyino, but what is contained in the tape is enche. That was why initially I said the tape is doctored. And check, he made a complete statement, an emphatic statement. And as I told you, I will be happy if COP George Alex Mensah is made the IGP.
Then there is this statement. Mete say, page 22, Mete say, Odi bedi atuo kra juma. Eya me say, onka no kre enkyere no. To wait, I heard he reprimanded bedi atuo. It seems he does not tell him the truth. Is this also your statement?
Honorable, I'm happy you furnished us with verbatim transcription of the audio tape. And as you are in no doubt aware, here what I see here is speaker. It could be anybody. So I don't remember. I don't remember making such a statement. I don't remember.
Then page 24, page 24. Page 24. Alaji, spiritually, you are the controller. This statement is also attributed to you. Do you confirm?
Honorable Chair, yes.
What is the meaning of that statement? Spiritually, you are in control. What is the meaning? You are the controller. What is the meaning? What do you mean?
Honorable, what I meant by that statement is that Chief Bugri Nabu made an emphatic statement that this thing, I just want to quote him verbatim, but it will be difficult. What all that he was trying to say was that this thing, you have to fight it both physically and spiritually. And then he gave us examples, but those examples, people that he helped them fight for the position spiritually. It was a private conversation. I don't want to make it public here. But the spiritual one, he went further to show us which places that he can go. So it was on the premise of this that I made that statement. That Alaji, this one there, you are the boss. Because you made us understand that I didn't even know that when you are fighting for a position, you have to fight it in two ways, both spiritually and physically.
But, Chief Asare, you are a man steeped in religion and Christianity, and you went there for the first time with a prophet who intercedes on your behalf. So what was going through your mind when they were talking about other things in a different spiritual realm?
Fine question, Honorable Chair. Very, very fine question. In fact, as I did indicate, there are so many issues with this tape. So many issues. The one who doctored it actually meant something evil, because This is a conversation that we have had. You see, at one point, okay, all right. What was going through my mind? I said it, but it wasn't captured in the tape. It wasn't captured in the tape. That, Honorable, as for Master, he was there. As for Master, I don't think he would like these things. So he's a staunch Christian. So I don't think he'll buy into this idea of fighting this thing spiritually.
So the spiritually in the context of that discussion was juju or other things?
Honorable Chair, he mentioned some imams that he can help them pray for him. Some imams that he can help them, that can, some imams that can help him in prayers. Yeah, let me put it in a proper perspective.
What were they going to be doing apart from praying for him?
Honorable Chair, for prayers, it is a matter of belief. Me, as a Christian, that's what I believe. That if you conceive it in mind, that the prayer will come into fruition, so shall it be. If your mind is not, it will not work. It will not work. That's my simple understanding of the whole thing.
Honorable Chair, just a second. Superintendent Asare, the son of Chief Bukuru Nabo, Prophet Emmanuel Bukuru Nabo, coincidentally happens to be your spiritual guidance. He's happened to be your spiritual guide. And you go to the father, and the father says, this matter, we have to add spirituality. Why didn't you avail your mind to the fact that this is the father of the prophet speaking?
Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair. Alhaji Bugri, Chief Bugri Nabu, gave two, options. Not even option as he mentioned two ways that whilst fighting it physically, you can fight it spiritually. And spiritually, myself, I'm in no doubt aware that Commissioner COP George Alex Mensah is a staunch Christian. And we made that statement known to Alhaji. But he insisted that he has to also see some malams. So he recommended about three, that some in the north. Even in his statement, he said it in the tape and in his evidence in chief to you. He stated it. That some from his village. He mentioned it here. Yes. So it was Chief Bugri Nabu himself that came forth with that suggestion.
Just, you see, Mahatma Gandhi said something one time. He said, I like your Christ, but I don't like your Christians, because your Christians are unlike your Christ. You and Commissioner Mensah are staunch Christians. Lucky enough for Commissioner Mensah, Superintendent Asare has a prophet in the name of Prophet Emmanuel Bukuru Nabo. And here's a matter that has come until spirituality has come to play. Did you draw the attention of Commissioner Mensah instead of listening to the diversion or the direction of Bukuru Nabo? Let's use the prophet, because you believe so much in the prophet who happens to be your personal prophet.
Honorable Chair, belief system is relative to people. What you believe in, somebody might not believe in it. So forcing your belief system on somebody, to me, is improper. But this one, this particular one, it was Alaji. Master knows he is a Christian, and he was well aware that he will resort to his Christian prayers. But in addition to that, Chief Bugri Nabu wanted him to as well allow him to consult some malams for him. Some malams for him. And that was why I said, Alaji, this one there, it is your job, so no problem. You can do it if you can help.
Honorable, do you have a long way to go?
No, please.
Okay, please try and wind up. So we come to Vice.
Grateful, Mr.
Yes.
Chairman. Grateful. You have mentioned 3 things. I just want you to clarify which one is the accurate. Earlier on, you indicated that Chief Nabu mentioned some places. And then you came back to say that he mentioned some imams. And then, thirdly, you said he mentioned some malams. Which of the 3 do you stand by?
So, Honorable Chair, I was using them interchangeably. The malams and the imams, they are the same people. They're places. They are in places. So I was just using those words interchangeably. Yes.
You mentioned places or imams. Which one?
The imams or the malams, they are in places.
He mentioned their names.
Oh, no, he didn't mention their names. No.
Okay. Did you approve this spiritual thing? Did you approve of it?
Commissioner.
Of it. When the man said you should go the spiritual way, did you approve of it?
I told him you are the controller because I don't believe in those things. But if you insist, then you are the boss.
So you did not approve of it?
I did not approve of it because I don't do those things.
Okay, page 24. Top there, speaker 3. Oh, let's start. Okay, let's start. Alaji. But you know why you will not. I told him you cannot. He doesn't.
Honorable Chair, which place is this?
Page 24 of the transcript. 24. 24. After speaker 3, Alaji, speaker 3, and then Alaji.
Okay.
I read. But you know why you will not. I told him you cannot. He doesn't. Only contrast. You also go spiritual way. And then you responded, speaker 3, okay. What is the meaning of okay here?
Honorable Chair, he was informing me something. And I responded, okay.
Of okay.
The meaning of okay.
Yes. Approved. Now you should go spiritual way. And he said, okay, approved.
Honorable Chair, like I said, that spiritual matter, it was in 2 ways, either Christianity or other faiths. But he insisted, please, Honorable Chair, he insisted that he has some malams, as I use those words interchangeably, or imams. Yes.
Okay. They're the same page, the last one. Alaji. But there are certain things I cannot use my own to do it. You understand me? So that yes, you are working, but you should not sit down and say you are working. This kind of job, like the President, IGP, Chief of Defense Staff, Army Commander, these are the people controlling most money in the country affairs. And they need spiritually, because if they are going to do this thing, I and you will not be there. And then you remarked, you and I were not there. And then you burst into laughter. Is it your statement? You and I were not there.
That's correct.
Mr. Chairman, this is my last question. Page 25. I thought by now, Alaji, page 25. Alaji, I thought by now you would have come to me so that it will help me. Yes, people like you. Let me repeat. I thought by now you would have come back to me so that it will help me. Yes, people like you, like me. People like me. And then you said, okay. What is the meaning of that?
Honorable Chair, this okay attributed to me, I don't understand it, but if I should try, I don't understand it.
I'm done.
Your colleague is not satisfied. So he's requested to ask you one question. Then, Madam, would you want to have your turn? Okay, then we'll come to Madam, because I want to give the virtually the last space to Vice. And then I don't have many questions at all because I started the introduction. So please, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Chairman, for just a question. We are trying to assist the public. Superintendent Asare, if I may be allowed to put it this way, you and your brother, your boss, your preferred candidate for IGP, Commissioner George Mensah, painted a picture that the current Inspector General of Police is not managing the police service well. Is that right?
No, Honorable Chair.
I thought you said if they change him and put your boss there, you'll be very happy. Am I wrong?
Honorable Chair, I've never made a statement here. Change. I've never used the word change today here in Office of Parliament. Change, no.
Okay, but if they appointed Commissioner Mensah, automatically they can't have two IGPs. The current one will be gone, and you'll be very happy. Is that right?
Honorable Chair, because Chief Bugri Nabu, said the current IGP was going to be changed. So it didn't come from any of us.
Can I read just CR 76, Regulation 6, Regulation 6.1 and 6.3, just for the edification of the public, and your comment will be required. Regulation 6.1, the Inspector General of Police is the head of the service and subject to the provisions of Article 202 of the Constitution and to the control and direction of the Council. It is responsible for the operational control and administration of the Ghana Police Service. I just want you to take note of control and direction of the Council. The Council here is talking about the Police Council. Regulation 6.3 says, the Inspector General of Police shall be assisted by the Deputy Inspector General of Police. So here we have the Inspector General of Police in the middle. Below him is the Deputy Inspector General of Police, who is supposed to assist him. Above him is the Police Council. So when you impugn non-performance, on the IGP, by extension, it's an indictment on the Police Council, and the lack of a Deputy Inspector General of Police. Your comment on this, just your personal comment. You are a police officer.
Honorable Chair, I'm surprised to hear this from my brother, Honorable Tu. I've never made that statement here. And in the tape, I never made that comment or statement in it. So I'm surprised to hear this. That I'm impugning somebody's performance. No. If you can play that side for me to hear. Impugning somebody's performance. No. I haven't made that statement.
Superintendent Asare, I only ask for your comment vis-a-vis what the law says. The law says above the IGP there is a police council. Below the IGP directly is a Deputy Inspector General of Police who is supposed to provide him with assistance. The IGP doesn't have a deputy, but the IGP has a police council. Should anybody impugn the integrity of the performance or capacity of the IGP, do you think that it also be an indictment on the supervisor? That is to say, the police council. I just asked for your honest comment. I didn't say that you said that.
No.
That is enough. That is enough. So let me yield to the only member of parliament who is a female and also a former police officer. So right now, how many police officers have joined us as members of parliament? Only 2 here. Okay. So I think you're going to hear a voice which is not of a male, so you know how to answer questions.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon, and sorry for coming late because I had to travel and then I missed my flight as well. Sorry, Commissioner. I have few questions to ask.
Thank you for promoting me to Commissioner. I appreciate it.
Sorry, Superintendent Asare. I want to delve into the conspiracy to remove the IGP. And so I have few things for you to affirm or deny. Is Bugri Nabu, Chief Bugri Nabu, a friend of yours?
No, Honorable Chair.
From the evidence given earlier by Chief Bugri Nabu, you initiated the meeting because you came to him and then introduced Commissioner Mensah to him as someone fit to become an IGP. Is that so?
That is not so, Honorable Chair. In his statement, he told the committee that before he met the two of us in his office, he had already met Commissioner to the extent that his CV was even given to him. That's Commissioner's CV was given to him. So,
very well. On that said date, per Chief's evidence, you were supposed to meet around 4 p.m. and the message was conveyed through you to the others. But unfortunately, you were the last to come for that meeting. Is it?
Honorable Chair, it is true I was the last to go to his office. But it wasn't others. The people that met to have that conversation in Alaji's office were 3. Myself, Commissioner, and Chief Bugri Nabu were only 3. But I was the last to go there because at a point I wasn't getting the import. Why so many calls? I didn't know that there was something, there was a danger awaiting me. But my instincts were telling me not to go. Had it not been that Commissioner called me finally, I wouldn't have gone. Because why? I don't need anything from you. Was it so special about this invitation, calling me 12 times consecutively in a space of three hours. What at all was his intention? I didn't know.
Superintendent, you had earlier on agreed with these two people to have a meeting. And you all agreed that we'll be meeting at 4 p.m. So why is it that later you decided not to turn up on time? That's what I wanted to know.
Mr. Chair, that wasn't an agreement. It wasn't an agreement. It wasn't an agreement. That I want to see you. Come. I don't see that as an agreement. And as I indicated, I was late because my instincts were telling me not to go because the calls were too many. 12 calls.
Did Alhaji call you after the tape has been leaked?
That is correct, Honorable Chair.
And what was his words? Can you tell the committee?
Honorable Chair, after the tape had leaked, I didn't know. Somebody, a friend of mine, called me. I've been hearing your voice on air. Why? Have you had a meeting with somebody that has come out in the public domain? So I asked that the person sends me a copy of it. He sent it to me, and I listened, and it was my voice. There I realized, hey, Alhaji, so was that the reason why he was calling me left, right, center like that? So he asked, when Alhaji called, later Alhaji called, Asante. He called me Asante. Asante. I thought maybe he was confusing my name, Asare, for Asante. So I didn't ask any question. Why? Why have you given the thing out? They are playing the tape. Why did you do that? And then I just hung up.
He said he referred to you as Asante.
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 Not Asare.
Not Asare. Asante.
All right. Okay. You proceed.
Asante. So, in fact, because somebody had earlier on called me to tell me this is what has happened, in fact, I wasn't happy. Why do you do this to me? And then later around 10 round and come and ask me, Asante, why have you done this? What is the meaning of all this? Go further.
So by your reckoning, Chief Bugri Nabu called the wrong person. Can you deduce that?
That is it. That's correct.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Superintendent Asare, Buri Nabu is on record as having said that when he called you, you actually threatened him. Did you do that?
I have listened carefully to the tape 3 times. 3 times. The one that was played when Chief Bugri Nabu appeared before you. And then the 2 times the tape was played. I listened carefully to it. Bugri Nabu didn't say that when he called me, I threatened him. What he did state was that when he called, I just hung up the phone. And then later on, his son, maybe you can play it again, you hear this one. His son came to tell him, that he said, my son came to tell him that I have threatened him that he will see. that trying to suggest that I threatened him through his son, Prophet Emmanuel Tei Bugri Nabu, but not him directly. That was not what he said, Honorable Chair.
But did you have any discussion with Prophet Bugri Nabu after the audio had leaked?
Of course, yes, Honorable Chair.
What did you tell Prophet Bugri Nabu after the tape had leaked?
It could be either I called him or he called me, asking me about what has happened. And then he started, initially, he knew or he thought, let me choose my words carefully, he thought it was his father that leaked the tape, that recorded us and leaked the tape. So when he called, he condemned his father for that singular act of his. That you invite people to your office, you record them, and then put it out into the public domain. But later, upon further inquiries, remember I'm a policeman. For investigations, I'm very smart. But that side, when we meet in camera, you will know who did the recording, who were sent by who, and on what promise to who. You will get it when we meet in camera. And you will see that this inquiry that has been set up, it will either be a causing financial loss to the state by somebody.
Yes, my good brother. Why were you trying to tell the committee that you were a good investigator? I thought
I'm sorry, apologies.
Yes, because you can't set your own exams, and then when you finish marking, you want to give yourself a grade. Yeah. Well, I'm only poking fun, but okay. Let my sister finish, then you conclude.
Oh, carry on.
Oh, go ahead.
Superintendent, Chief Bugri Nabu informed this committee that wasn't the full tape. You are also alluding to the fact that the tape is doctored. Why do you think somebody would dock that tape? And if so, who do you think would have done this?
Honorable Chair, these are some of the matters that I've promised the committee that I want to do it in camera because it concerns national security. It's a serious matter. I want to do it in camera.
My last question. Let me take you to page 76 of the transcript. I think our last sitting. Mr. Mensah said, Mr. Chairman, my intel suggests that what was used to tape the conversation was done by the current IGP. He sent some people to do it, after which he went for it. So the tape from my intel is with the IGP, and he caused it to be leaked. So if this committee wants the tape, the right person to call blah blah is the IGP. And then I want to know, why do you think Commissioner Mensah will make such a statement?
Honorable Chair, with your indulgence, I also have the same intel.
Sorry.
I also have the same intel that yes, I should mention his name. I also have the same intel that that the IGP agreed with Bugri Nabu after Bugri Nabu had gone to inform the IGP that somebody wants your post, so he has come to me. To the extent that the CV that was collected from commissioner and sent to Bugri Nabu by those boys, they are prepared to come here and testify. They are two. They collected it, sent it to Bugri Nabu. Bugri Nabu gave the CV that was intended for the appointing authority. He gave it to the IGP.
Okay, Chairman.
That I would be happy that I say more when I'm in camera, because it is not a healthy development at all.
Chairman, including the two boys, the said two boys.
Two boys. If you could remember, when Alaji called me, he knows my name, Asare, but God works under mysterious circumstances. I don't know what moved Bugri Nabu into calling me Asante. And this Asante, per our intel, is a corporal or sergeant that has been promoted to go to police college to become an ASP. And this same ASP, it was Mr. Commissioner George Alex Mensah that made him go to the peacekeeping mission. Master, let me say this in camera.
I don't know whether I should put my last question because of the answer you just gave, but let me just play the devil's advocate. If someone says that day you were late because you knew that conversation or that meeting was going to be recorded, what would be your answer to that person?
The person, maybe he was joking, it's not true. How can that be? How can I record myself and put it out in the public domain? I can't do that.
Chairman, thank you. I think I'll be done.
I'm grateful to you, Honorable Member. Now, let's go to the Vice Chairman, who's whispered to me privately that he will not write an encyclopedia.
No. Yes. Chairman, I don't have too many questions to ask because Superintendent Asare has given indication that he would want to speak to certain important matters in camera. Most of my questions would have elicited from him answers, or he has already indicated he would want to respond to in camera. So I would oblige him that, but just to seek clarification on a few issues, and then I yield to you, Chairman.
Okay.
Yes. Superintendent Asare.
Mr. Chair.
Let me take you straight to page 22, where you spoke Twi and described someone as area mama. Sewunim area mama. That's a coded name. You want to...
Mr. Chair, the page again.
So page 23.
20.
Yes, of Exhibit 1. The first paragraph. You described someone as area mama. Sewunim area mama. Area mama is a coded name. Who is area mama?
Honorable Chair, that's the name you all know.
You know the real name of area mama?
Not at all, Honorable Chair.
Okay. But where does she work?
To be honest, where she works, I cannot tell. But what I know is that she lives in Wager area. And she's an assemblywoman, whatever. That's what I know.
Now, you made a very emphatic statement in one of your answers to either Peter or Eric, Honorable Peter or Eric, that before you sign off, you say something before this committee. What's that?
The entire proceedings, yes, has come to an end, both in camera and public hearing.
Okay, so you intend that the sign off here should happen in camera?
No. What
the statement you would make when you are signing off?
Signing off.
Yes.
That when we are done, when the whole proceedings has come to, an end. That I'm talking about my appearance before you.
Today?
No, today and in camera. Hey.
Superintendent Asare, you earlier stated that you were not going to, in fact, you expressed regret for making the statement to the effect that Bedirtu does not tell the president what is going on. You express regret for that. Now, let me take you to page 23, where featured in a comment you Bedirtu and the man are like this. Dampare. What when you say Bedirtu and the man are like this, Dampare, you want to explain what that means? Page 23.
Honorable Chair, if you could remember, I want to cast your mind back. That the tape itself is not correct. Because what is...
It's not correct.
Sorry for a want for better word.
Yes, part of the tape, from your perspective, is not correct. You get the point. Because you said there's been edited and you have also admitted your voice. Yeah.
You are right, Honorable Chair. But in my answer to Deputy Chair's question, the statement is even incomplete. The statement is incomplete. So it will be difficult for me to make meaning out of it. In a conversation, so many things happen. You can even make a statement, something will come in and you will even forget what you intended to say. So sorry for that. I can't tell exactly what I meant to say. as per what is contained here.
But Superintendent Asare, you keep saying that the kind you believe is doctored for the purposes of the committee, because one of our tasks is to authenticate the audio. So if there are aspects that you believe,
hold on, sir. Regarding the exercise of pinpointing which aspects of the tape are doctored and which are not, we need to go and do it and then submit it to us. I know it's going to take us a very long time. So take your time. You have the benefit of lawyers, and then you mark from your perspective where you think it's not valid and where you think, it's very, very valid and correct. So that when we bring you back, which certainly we are going to bring you back, you give it to us. So for now, I do not believe that this is a very good time to go through this laborious exercise, and I'm not going to adjourn like we did before for you to do the comparison. So first of all, you have the benefit of the audio, and you have the benefit of the verbatim reporting, and we'll give you space outside, the proceedings, and take your time and do it. And when we next call you, you bring it to us. You will tender it. Is that okay with you?
Honorable Chair. Yes. I agree that initially I told you the voice in the tape is mine. But there has been some cuts and pieces put together.
That's what you are going to
but
do.
It will be difficult. It was a conversation that we had.
No, it won't be difficult.
Especially this one, this particular one.
Senior,
it is an incomplete statement.
Wait. Take your time. You see, I'm saying that because of challenges of memory, we'll give you the space. Take the audio, take the verbatim reporting, the transcript that you have here, and do a juxtaposition. You know. And then mark it for our benefit. That's all. Yeah. You have the benefit of two lawyers to help you.
Mr. Chair.
No, it's been Sam. My brother, you too. Yes.
Honorable Chair, I think at the last date, when COP was given the same opportunity, we joined his legal team to do that piece of exercise. And I think it's just one area that he complained of. And I'm of the view that if he be given the opportunity, he would be able to explain that particular portion to the chair, so that we don't waste. Yes.
Find something. You see, the last time we did the juxtaposition, it was done. I know that you asked for permission to join them, and when we resumed from break, it was COP Alex Mensah who gave indication as to which portions of the transcript and the audio did not match. So it was his markings that this committee took note of and duly admitted the exhibit and labeled same as Exhibit 1. You see? So my question is, do you also, Council, I need your attention here, do you also want to go along with the indication COP Alex Mensah gave this committee with regards to the portions he marked as not matching well with the audio?
Honorable Chair, what the witness is saying is that there's just one portion of the transcript that he has issues with. And that is what he intends to draw the committee's attention to.
But do you identify with the extinctions that were made by Commissioner of Police Mensah? You said when it was not your turn, you took advantage of the winnowing, if you like, and you were part of it together with the lawyers. So, would you want to identify with Exhibit 1, which COP Mensah was so clear in his mind that he has validated some and some he doesn't agree? Do you want to do that and then comment on that small bit of Exhibit 1? Is that what you want to do?
Honorable Chair, most of the areas that COP identified were times that he was not present during the meeting, so he wouldn't be able to talk about those areas.
So you will not be able to identify with what COP Mensah agreed.
That is so.
But in respect of Exhibit 1, there is an area which you want to comment upon.
That is so.
Okay. How long are you going to make this commentary?
Honorable Chair, I think it will be very brief, maybe.
All right. So let's listen to you. Show us, what page do you have in mind?
I believe page 24.
Page 24.
After, I think the first one is, Then Alaji says he will come back before June. Yes. According to the witness, the meeting was held on the 19th of June. And for Alaji to indicate here that someone was coming back before June, it presupposes that this area meant that the meeting was held before June. This portion, as captured in the transcript, suggests that it was in relation to a different meeting apart from the one that he confirms he had with Alaji and COP Mensah.
So this portion, it doesn't validate.
That is so.
Yes, so you earlier stated that you were once district commander of East Legon at the time the Ayawaso West Wagon by-election was conducted. Now, after serving as commander of that particular district, where were you posted to?
Honorable Chair, from East Legon, I was posted to Achimota Mile 7 district.
As commander?
That's correct, Honorable Chair.
And how long did you, spend at Mile 7 as commander?
Honorable Chair, it will be difficult to give the correct date or period. But
2 years, 1 year?
Yeah, roughly 1 year. Let me put it that way. Roughly.
Right. So was it from my 7 you now proceeded to the headquarters?
That's correct. Chair.
You are with the protocol outfit at the headquarters. Is that correct?
That's correct, Honorable Chair.
Do you have problems with that?
Honorable, no, far from that. I don't have problem. I don't have authority over